absolutely awesome and would keep us going through till the end of the event.
Okay, I do believe we're up to the 85 big wheel. Under starters orders, no, not quite. We've still got a checkered flag for a couple of the riders in event 12. So event 13, we're moving on. They're on the starting grid. Looks like a full grid once again. And should be about ready to see some sparks fly very soon. The 85cc. See if we get the right lot. Gas sponsored, 85, 2T and 150 four-stroke, short wheelbase, big wheelbase, one or the other. A gaggle of riders here. Let's see, we should be looking for Jack Backer, 411, Jake Rumans, 44. Kai Pratt was the early leader in the earlier Moto, 349 is his number. Dylan Walsh, 61. So they're about ready to go racing. They drop the gates. Here we go. They go hard and fast at the first corner. And let's have a look and see where we're at. I think you'll find, difficult to pick a number. Just didn't quite get it. But it's certainly a Yamaha in front. So everybody up and racing, away we go.
Let's get into it. The number 68 giving chase from second place. But it's rider 349 in the lead. Let's catch him. Through the left-hander, firing down off the berm. That is a great run there from 68. Patrick Butler leads us out in first place. Well, he did for a moment there. He's been outstripped. 111 Sonny Pellicano giving chase in third place behind Patrick Butler. And wow, these 85 big wheels are turning this place into clouds of dust. Patrick Butler leads us out. Pellicano in the mix in the top three. And Jack Backer, I believe, was somewhere up there as well. So we have a rider, unfortunately, having to push their bike off the side of the track. That's going to break your tiny heart, doesn't it?
Oh, they get absolutely wickedly upset about that. There's no doubt about it. The bike doesn't want to start, doesn't want to play, and I'd imagine to be absolutely fuming underneath that helmet. There'd be some expletives coming out we don't want to repeat.
Yeah. Ryan
okay.
Forbes, that is.
Yes, Ryan Forbes. So back to the pits for you, my man. Never mind, that's the way it goes. Now, Butler got an absolute fire and is leading quite nicely. I think you'll find will be Sonny Pellicano, Jack Backer, Lee Rivers, Matthew Crosby. That's the way they circulate.
We are just going to come off the microphones until we can find an alternative source of power. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us. We will be back. We just want to make sure we look after our equipment. We'll be back with more from round 2 of the 2021 State Motocross Championship. It's the juniors here at Byford.
like we've got a generator that's going to do the job for us at the moment, so we'll see how it looks. Right as we speak, I think you'll find the race is unfolding, and currently our race leader is bike number 68, which is Patrick Butler from Pelicano, Sonny Pelicano on 111, and Kai Pratt 349. Cody Richardson 93, 676. Jake Hook. I don't think they're all actually accurate. In fact, I'm pretty sure that hasn't caught up. We've got Jake Rumans, he's circulating in fourth. Rimbus back there in fifth, so Butler's in front, there's no doubt about that, and he has dictated the terms in front for quite some time. They're working their way on all parts of the circuit at the moment. Your experience in your program, which is a gas sponsored 85cc. I think it's an event where you've got two classes combined, but I'm not 100% sure. But in any case, they are circulating and doing a job nicely out there. We're hopeful that the new generator that was just plugged in will keep us going. Not real sure exactly how long it'll last, but at the moment we're able to give you a relatively straightforward commentary of what's happening. And at the moment our two race leaders have got away. Looks like Butler, bike number 68, Patrick Butler in front. And he seems to be going along pretty well. So Butler from Pelicano, from Pratt and Rumans, Rimbus Baker, Freight, Connor Weiss, and Luca Romano, Chance Napier round out the top 10. That's the way they circulate. I do believe we're 8 minutes into probably 10 or 15, is it? 8 minutes, they should be on a lap. On a homeward bound lap in that case, being the situation, so that can't be quite right. Again, the braking transmission power-wise has had a bit of problem with our IT stuff, so we do the best we can. No last lap board out yet, so race leader's still going nicely. Pelicano going beautifully in second. No change in the order. Ruman's still back there in fourth. Slightly behind Kai Pratt, who has been the surprise packet of the day. He has done a very, very good job. He led an earlier moto, and he's holding on quite well indeed here. Continuing to race okay, although, having said that, I've committed to the old commentator's curse. Son, did you see that? I gave Kai Pratt a big pat on the back, and consequently went off the track. Oh, no. Dave, you've done it again. Leading us out, Patrick Butler looking good on the number 68. Sonny Pelicano out on track, doing a great job. Seeing a variety of different lines happening out there. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that there's many lines around, and they're all pretty iffish at the moment. I don't know whether you're on the inside or the outside, but I don't think there's a huge amount of traction on any part of the circuit right as we speak. The guy in front who's running along in front, Patrick Butler, seems to be finding the best of the line. Pelicano following along nicely. Then we've got a bit of daylight back to Rumans, who's charging hard. Finally got the better of the rider in fourth spot. That was Kai Pratt. So Kai Pratt, I reckon, as I said, in this particular class, definitely the surprise packet, doing a beautiful job out there. He'll be well pleased with what he's done so far. Was up in the pointy end earlier, and he's in the pointy end again. Did you reset that just then?
I did just now.
Good on you, son. O for technology. An old 65-year-old head like mine just doesn't understand. Good on you. You've done a great job there, son. You've got everything happening. And we're looking at a fairly good little race here. We're back up and running. Sorry for the delay in transmission. We continue on with the 85 150cc, 12 to under 16s. We watch on as a yellow flag in our sector. The number 68 Gas of Patrick Butler. Looking good out there. Butler being chased hard by the 111 of Sonny Pelicano. Pelicano down the inside line, tries to fire it off, couldn't cover off the advance of Patrick Butler. Into the left-hander they go. Pelicano getting on that gas nice and quick, but Patrick Butler on the gas is doing an absolutely incredible job, Dave. Yes, absolutely. Patrick Butler at 205, Pelicano 206, Rumans 206, so not much in there. And then go back to Kai Pratt at 208. Lee Rumans 210. What a wonderful time for a young lady like that. Well done, Jack Backer, 211. Connor Weiss is doing 2:09s back in 7th, so just goes to show not the slowest time in the middle of the pack, a good time, 2:09. He could have been up the pointy end, but at the moment just not finding his way past. So not much of the race to unfold. Last lap board out. They're homeward bound, I do believe, in this event. Event 13 in your program, being led by Patrick Butler.
Watching on as Sonny Pellicano looks to try and resurrect his hopes. He doesn't want to see Patrick Butler take this victory, but his chances of taking P1 are dwindling. Here they come, up back towards the infield section, around this right-hander. It's a banked hairpin. There's plenty of those here at Lightweight Motocross Club. Pellicano chasing hard. You can spot him with that bright yellow helmet over the back of the track, looking towards the highway. There's plenty of action going on, but this is where the fight is. The fight for P1 and 2. Butler skies it up nice and high. He's got himself a handy gap. Was at 1.9 seconds. It's definitely closed down to under 2 seconds. But for the checkered flag, your race winner, Patrick Butler.
Yeah, good rider, Butler. Well done indeed. Hard chasing from Sonny Pellicano. Ruman's finally got his way past Pratt to get third. Kai Pratt in fourth. Then I think you'll find Lee Rimbus. Lee Rimbus in fifth. Jack Backus sixth. Connor Weiss seventh. Caden Freight eighth. Chance Napier ninth. And rounding at the top 10, Luca Romano. That was event 13 in your program. The 85 cc's. And what a wonderful effort it was by our race leader and winner, Patrick Butler. Got to the lead relatively early, maintained it, withstood the thrust from Sonny Pellicano and extracted maximum points out of the moto. So that's a nice bit of work from him. We should move on to event 14 in your program, which is likely to be the 50cc autos.
Right up beyond him, about a half.
Between 5th and 6th, it's Turner with a big mistake.
But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
Just going to get the last of our riders off before we put them in the hands of the starter. Here we go, 50cc autos hit the track, and man, oh man, do they hit the track running into whole short corner. One clear leader taking the high line, super quick. Wow, Evan Foley looks like it's absolutely tearing
One of the
it
little
up.
Cobras, I think, isn't it?
The Cobras, we were talking about them earlier. Evan Foley leads out Joby Scott with Bam Hill in third place. Caleb Tatt fourth, Jackson O'Grady in fifth, and the dust is flying, Dave.
Yeah, here we go. The flight of the bumblebees almost, isn't it? As they worked their way around. One went for the inside run, didn't work out quite so well. These little bikes, they push hard. There's a gaggle of riders back behind them, and I'd say vision's a huge problem if you happen to be back midfield. Not for me, thank you very much. Race with the breeze in the face, that's what it's all about. Be at the pointy end, and at the moment, that's exactly what we have got. We've got Evan Foley, Joby Scott, Bam Hill, Caleb Tatt, that's the top four as they circulate. And the 50cc's, race 14 in your program here at Sunny Lightweight Motorcycle Club, Byford. And we've had a few little teething issues. Fortunately, I think you've managed to sort those out one way or the other. Let's hope it stays that way. Vision there?
Great battle happening out in the middle of the track here. They're making their way up towards our camera position. Watch them peel across. Evan Foley still leading us out by the looks of things. I think the 7-Eleven was still holding on to P1. They'll come around the spectator area. But a long, snaking trail of bikes starting to spread themselves out. This is a relatively short moto. This is a 7-minute plus 1 lap. And they'll average in, I believe, around about the 2-minute mark. Maybe, in fact, a little longer. Here we go, first lap about to be clocked off, and let's check it out. First lap time. Updates, it's a 1 minute 50, so not too far off the pace, but we will see some pretty quick, probably a 4-lap race.
Yeah, it seems to be about the go, doesn't it, really? And I'd say 150 is not a shabby time around here. These little guys riding that high line to perfection, really, and a few frequent fly points, not frightened to go for that double in front of us, and going beautifully on that high line, doing really nicely is Foley, and also going particularly well there, you'll find is Caleb Tatt and Bam Hill. So that's the way they circulate, and they're doing it quite nicely indeed. Right at this point, there's a great gaggle of riders back behind our top 3 or 4, and they're all circulating in their best endeavours to extract the most amount of points. That doesn't look good. We've got flags being waved. We've got the Red Cross flag out, and our first aid people working across to that section in the middle. So we've had a little rider come off there. I hope there's nothing too bad going on there. Not good.
Good thing about these riders is largely they tend to bounce. They're incredibly robust. They'll come off the bike, they'll be running back over to the machine, kicking it to get it started and back in as if they hadn't even come off. So fingers crossed that's exactly what we see here. But the Medicaid buggy is on its way. We do have yellow flags out in that bottom sector, and we will bring you information as it comes to hand. This is the second moto for the 50cc autos age 7 to 9. And it's all happening out here at Lightweight Motorcycle Club. Caleb Tatt is currently leading us out. Evan Foley was recorded in second. Bam Hill in third. John Fitzgerald in fourth, with Jackson O'Grady rounding at top 5. Let's see how that shakes up as we check it out. Our front runners are across the start-finish line. And Caleb Tatt now leads out Bam Hill, who's managed to get up over the top of Evan Foley as they come streaking past. Geez, that 216 machine of Caleb Tatt is just about unstoppable. He's led for 2 laps now.
Yeah, it goes along beautifully, there's no doubt about that. And once they get a handle on it and they get the thing going right, you cook these up and keep them cooked up, and they really go nicely. You've got to keep the revs up to them, and that is exactly what he is doing at the moment. Doing a really nice job in front, Caleb Tatt. Bam Hill really doing a manful job, chasing hard from Evan Foley, John Fitzgerald. It seems like those 2 riders have come off are okay. Had 2 off on either parts of the circuit. No damage done, I hope. We've had a pretty clear run in that regard today, so that's a nice thing, and let's hope it stays that way.
We continue on with the second moto for the 50cc's, ages 7 to 9. Leading us out, Caleb Tatt. as we watch on our 4-Star Media live stream. And you can see our guys trying to put a little bit of water down mid-race just to try and mitigate the dust.
A little bit of problem there. We need a first aid flag by the looks of that. Yeah, our riders come off just out of our sight in front of the commentary here. Frantic people trying to get the riders to slow down. I wish them all the luck in the world with that. These little guys don't spot flags too well, and it's ever so hard to slow them up. They've managed to do that right now, and the flag officials got the St John Ambulance flag, the Red Cross flag out, so let's hope there's nothing too untoward here. I think the little rider's up, actually, if I might even be on the bike again, so that's quite interesting.
Well, our clerk of course is out there on the scene, but here comes your race leader on screen now and into this left-hander. Caleb Tatt on the 216 machine. He's being chased doggedly by Bam Hill on the 197, but there's a bit of breathing room. We're still talking about a 4-second gap between P1 and 2. Tatt takes the high line, fires it down the inside, and makes his way off onto what is his third lap. We will probably see, yes, in fact we will see one lap after this, as we're just clocking over 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, it seems that way, another lap. So our race leader at the moment, Caleb Tatt, should come back around, take the last lap board and be homeward bound. Fortunately, they've managed to extricate those 3 fallen riders from the circuit. One coming back towards the first aid post now. One down the end here. Not sure exactly what the situation is there, but in any case, the race goes on, and the race leader is still Caleb Tatt.
Starting to see some moves being put down on some lap traffic, and the good news is that everybody seems to be circulating fairly safely. Nothing untoward happening. As we check it out, great run here from Bam Hill. He grabbed a couple of positions earlier in the race and has managed to consolidate his performance with second place so far. Barring tragedy, he should be right to finish in that, as we are about to run one lap more. Caleb Tatt looks over the inside of the corner, checks out the competition as he scoots around the lap traffic, cocks that fist back and gives it full stick on his way into his final lap. That's it, ladies and gents. Last lap for race 14 in your program, the 50cc autos. Hard to believe these kids aren't even 10 years old.
Yeah, it's amazing really how quick this is. The entry level pretty much, or say you could say the next step up from the entry level, but it doesn't take them long to figure out that the harder you twist the throttle, the faster it goes. At that age, it's got to be a fairly daunting task, but once they understand the basics of what they're doing, by gee, they go hard and fast, and there is no quarter asked for and there's none given, no matter what the age is. And young kids doing a really good job here. Nobody going any better than our race leader, Caleb Tatt. He is doing a fantastic job. And as I speak here, that just shows you the last lap, a 150.1 was John Fitzgerald, which is quite amazing, really. So Caleb Tatt, Bam Hill, and Evan Foley all circulating that 153, and the fourth rider rolling along in about a 150.1. So that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
You just got to see some of the closing speed that Caleb Tatt has on the lappers just to get an idea. There's still some out-and-out battles happening here. I'm looking at the 400 really being pushed incredibly hard by the 724, who's trying to get up on behind him.
Yeah, that's
Rocky
Ryder
Legg
Lewis.
and Ryder Lewis, that's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's doing a 2:01 compared to the other ones that are around about 2:06, 2:08. So that's quite a good time, really, when you consider that. Our race leader's going at 1:53, and he's a 2:01. He's back in, 10 to 12. Amazing.
There we go. Some great shots on our 4-Star Media live stream.
Okay,
the checkered flag has come on out, and Caleb Tatt has scored himself a race win to add to the tally.
Yeah, well done, Caleb Tatt. Checkered flag for Bam Hill, checkered flag for the race. Third place getter John Fitzgerald, who managed to round up Evan Foley in the shadows of the checkered flag to take third. Foley in fourth, O'Grady is fifth, Chetman sixth, Giltrap seventh, And Ryder O'Grady in 8th. 9th goes to Noah Thomas, and rounding out the top 10 was Joby Scott.
The Unique Racing crew scoring themselves another win with a 216 machine. Caleb Tatt, hailing from Lightweight Motorcycle Club. He's on home turf and he's doing it for Oakley Motorsports, SKDA Moto, Moto Australia and Mandurah City, Yamaha and KTM. Hope you are enjoying round 2 for the 2021 State Motocross Championship. This is the juniors round, and we do ask, in fact, no, we don't ask, we actually instruct you that there is no riding of motorcycles in the pit area. Apparently there are some repeat offenders, and if we continue to see that, we are going to start handing out these 2 position penalties. Here we go. The 10 to under 12s are out on track. These are the 65cc riders, and it is all hands on deck as we make our way into turn 1. We'll update the order as they shoot on through, but expect a flying mullet Deegan Ford to be right up there, and indeed he is on the 102 machine for the Blue Crew. 102, Deegan Ford leads out a very handy Mason Brown, giving chase on this little 65.
Yeah, the little guy up front, I'll tell you what, he gives it everything. Not big in stature, but big in heart. And look at him ride that Blue Crew motorbike, going hard and fast for being hardly chased by Mason Brown. So that should be an interesting tussle as the race unfolds. Everybody up and running, no yellow flag. That's a good thing, and they're all to be commended for the way they circulate on the track. A little bit of common sense prevails when it comes to that. There's no way you fit 40 or 30 riders into one particular line, so you've got to, well, just readjust your thoughts and go somewhere else. Now, Brown's starting to get on board with a little guy up front, Deegan Ford, so let's see how we go.
Kicking the dust up as they make their way into the tabletop. Brown riding smart, kept the altitude as low as he could over that tabletop. They get on down into the rollers, and it is throttle pinned to the stop as hard as they can go down towards the highway. You see them flash into view as they round the bend. The gap doesn't look too big between Deegan Ford and Mason Brown. Brown just looking to pick up the crumbs as soon as Deegan makes a mistake. We'll see how that shapes up, but they've already put a massive gap on the rest of the field, Dave.
Yeah, they've stretched their legs in no uncertain manner and pinched a handy break, and I'd say at the moment Deegan Ford is going to feel the pressure of Brown on the outside line as they work their way into that middle section there. Right up on the outside was Brown, but not to be denied. Deegan Ford, he snuck around quickly and got going again, got the little Yamaha wound up, Lackey band tight, and he's checking it out for a bit more horsepower. I think he's got it on the red line.
He wouldn't be far off it. I can guarantee he's given it as much throttle as it'll let him dial in. Mason Brown, larger framed kid on the same size sort of bike. Couldn't get the drive off the inside line there, but he has closed up the gap. Deegan Ford did come around the outside. Brown switches it up, takes the high line, has pushed himself out, trying to carry that speed across the start-finish line and in through this 1-2-3 complex. Here could be the move. High line through the left-hander. Looks to line up the rollers. It's throttle pin. They are tapped out and into the left hand they go, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what, little Deegan Ford, he's riding with experience far in excess of his years. Every time he's gone the inside, he's immediately switched to cover. And that's what's giving Brown the problem. And at the moment, Deegan Ford is doing a very, very good job in front. In fact, he pinched a little bit of a break there as they go down the hill, but covered the lines beautifully, went the inside, switched to the outside to make sure that that slingshot around him wasn't going to work. So they've done very, very well. They've got right away from the balance of the field. I think we've got Riley Byford in third and Jack Wilkinson, he's in fourth. Levi Farr, James Eggert and Warburton, Albie Reeve and Reese Beenham. That's the top 8, but stay with the action up front.
So Deegan Ford leads us out on the 102 Yamaha. We'll see how that shapes up as the race progresses, and the gap is extending, Dave. It's getting bigger and bigger. I'm wondering exactly what's happening. We'll catch up with our race leaders in just a moment. Let's look on to the 1-2-1 machine of Jax Wilkinson. We saw him in position 4 last time around.
Mason Brown's got the better of him over down on the southwest highway side of it there, and suddenly stretches his legs and pinches a little break. So obviously the bubble burst for the flying mop as he was in front for quite some period of time. However, we've got a change in the leadership, and Mason Brown goes to the front with Ford in second. That's still miles away in the next league, basically. Is our third place rider, and I think you'll find that's Riley Byford. So that's the way they circulate, and now we've really got something happening here.
So here we go, coming around the timing area in towards the start-finish line. Let's pick up a rider, the 102 machine. Looks as good as any. That's Deegan Ford, currently circulating in P2. Mason Brown has put on a handy gap. It was 3.47 seconds last time around, and Deegan, 0.4 of a second off the pace of the hot lapper. Mason Brown at 6.58, style check over those rollers.
Yeah, and at the moment the gap's got out to 3.4 seconds, so the pressure's gone on, and Deegan Ford fighting hard to stay with it, but he's only a little in stature, so he's probably got more than his fair share to keep the pace up, and it's consistent pace, and that's exactly what he's struggling against at the moment. The guy in front is consistently fast, Mason Brown, and continues to go in front, and looking at it, we've got a 2.10 from Mason Brown, a 2.14 from Deegan Ford. That's where that gap's come from, just sheer outright pace. So you almost have, I know it's kind of hard because these are young kids that we're talking about, but you have to drum it into them. This is now about damage control. Don't fall too far off that front guy that you end up in the clutches of the guy running in third place, because he'll gobble you up as soon as he gets a chance. Yeah, and at some stage you've got to start riding for the points. It's all about getting the maximum points. So if your guy in front gets away, what you've got to do is you've got to put your nose to the grindstone, maintain the consistency that you've had, and as you said, don't fall back in the lap of the riders behind you, because if you do, you lose another couple of points, and that could be the difference between being a state champion and a runner-up, and or not even in the top 3. But at the moment, Mason Brown, he is going along beautifully in front, continues to go in front where he likes to be, and is just working his craft nicely on the bike. Again, I stress he's making the bike work for him. He's not working on the bike. And the vision shows us that. As you watch him, looks very smooth, doesn't he?
It does indeed. Just watching him navigate his way down around that bottom corner closest to Southwest Highway. And we'll pick him up as they come through that technical area where the speed drops down. But your race leader is clicking out, I believe, another lap. He's just started lap 3 with just under 7 minutes on the clock. Mason Brown leads out Deegan Fort. The gap blowing out to 5.4 seconds. Mason Brown surely just rolling off that throttle a little bit. In fact, you can see he's lapped in a 2:12.
He's got the KTM going beautifully in front, so we've got KTM from Yamaha as they round up a lap rider. But Mason Brown down the middle of the circuit once again. He fires and absolutely no problems with anything aerial. Not frightened with the bike flying in the air. Gets it back down. Gets to drive on the back wheel and away we go again. Here's our third place, I think, 5:43. That's Riley Byford. So he's quite some ground back. And he's almost lonely too, I think, by the looks of it.
He is indeed.
Behind him, Jax Wilkinson. So that's okay. A little bit of a mini go there, look.
Let's check this one out. Jax Wilkinson and the 184 machine, Levi Farr, they're trading places. Wilkinson now jumping back up. They're going to be side by side through the right-hander. Cut to the inside. Big wheel stand as they make their way off the corner. Who's going to have it into the step down? The 1-2-1 on the right-hand side is Jax Wilkinson. Levi Farr neck and neck as they head out of view. Let's watch them on as they shoot their way down towards Southwest. Jax Wilkinson holds down track position, currently operating in 4th place. He'll look to seek to keep that as long as he can. So make their way back up towards our commentary position, Dave.
Yes, they work their way back up the hill, so there's a little change in the order there, I think. You'll find Riley Byford in 3rd, but Jax Wilkinson's got past Levi Farr. James Egan and Warburton not that far away either, so there's a little mini tussle between those 3 for the skinny end of the prize, if you like, but take nothing away from our race leader. He is still going beautifully in front. That, of course, is the bike of Mason Brown from Deegan Fort and Riley Byford. They're pretty much settled in positions. I don't think there's any real challenge to come to either of those 3, but the interest in the race will be for 4th, 5th and 6th. Currently, Jax Wilkinson in front of Levi Farr and James Egan and Warburton, but that could change as the race unfolds. Last lap orders out, and they are homeward bound.
Well, here we go. The dying stages of this second moto for the 65cc under 12 division. Big air from the 102 machine as he rounds up a lapper. Pretty much had it done just in the air. And Deegan Ford, I got to say, has put in an incredible run. He wasn't able to go toe-to-toe with Mason Brown in outright pace, but he has acquitted himself so well, still riding as fresh as he was when he first started this race.
I reckon these 2 up front have done an absolutely ripping good job. Mason Brown's been really hard and fast right the way through, but Deegan Fort, the flying mop, he has done a wonderful job. He looks tidy on the bike. They both look fairly tidy, but for his size, he's only diminutive, but at the moment, he looks very nice on that bike, and he's not frightened by the speed. He just whips past the lap riders in no problems whatsoever, and just keeps on pushing to go to the maximum forward position he can be in. At this stage, that looks like a comfortable 2nd for my money.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you have to ride for the points. You're not going to catch a guy in front. Just stick with it, do your job, and bring the bike home safely. 7.5 seconds between P1 and 2. Riley Byford, he's about 40 seconds back off the rear tyre of the 102 machine. Deegan Fort last time they came around. Levi Farr operating in 4th place with James Egan and Warburton in 5th. Jax Wilkinson 6th, Reese Beanham 7th, Seth Cleary 8th, Angus Fay 9th, and Albie Reeve rounding out your top 10, Dave.
Yeah, and I'm going to suggest rider fatigue starts to show now. And this is the statistics you get from the timing. And you've got 2:14 as our race leader, 2:16 in 2nd. And then you go in 3rd, 2:24, 2:25, 2:26 and down. So, you know, suddenly they're 10 seconds slower than our race leader. Rider fatigue's all I can say there, I think.
Well, no such thing for your race winner as the checkered flag flies. Mason Brown takes this one out. Congratulations, also in order. I'm just having a look, and it looks like, there we go, there were some lappers in between Mason Brown and Deegan Ford. I thought maybe something had gone wrong, and Deegan had gone down.
You got me for a second. I saw you just hesitate. But a couple of lap riders in between our race winner Mason Brown and our second place rider in Deegan Fort. Then we go back to Riley Byford, a very creditable third. Levi Farr looks like he might got the better of Jack Wilkinson, and James Egerton Warburton looks like he might have got past too, according to our screen. So that's the way to finish in race 15 in your programs, and we should move on to the next moto, which is on the starting grid.
Well, it won't be too far away. Quick lap time of that race was a 2-minute 10.36 from Mason Brown. We'll crank the tunes and we will be back with the 1-2-5 two-strokes for their 10-minute moto. It's all happening here at round 2 for the 2021 State Junior Motocross Championship, brought to you by Smarter Than Smoking and presented by WAMX.
Sparks are about to fly.
In the hands of the starter. Gates down and away we go. Keep an eye on Deacon Pace and Dylan Walsh. These guys have been firing off hole shot after hole shot all day long. Let's get into it. Watch them as they shoot on through. Pace in front on the number 21 machine. Gee, you might be 65, but wow, you got good eyes. The 21 streaks off. Patrick Butler on the 68 giving chase in P2. Then it's the very familiar 61 of Dylan Walsh with Jake Rumans on the 44 looking to get ahead of Sonny Pelicano on that 111 machine. Luca Romano in the mix there as well with Taj Ben in 7th. Problems on the right-hander for the number 15 machine. That's Taj Reed. We saw him shake off a pretty big tumble earlier in the day. Coming to Gutser in that one too.
I think it was the same corner too, you know, just about. Okay, race leader Deacon Pace. Again, taking up the running where he likes to be, up the pointy end of the race as he works his way down the bottom towards the highway section of the circuit and doing it pretty nicely. In behind him, let's have a look and see. We should have, I'll go to the screen, it'll be easier. Patrick Butler, Dylan Walsh, Jake Room and Sonny Pelican, same 4 or 5 protagonists up the pointy end again in this field. This is the 1-2-5s, race 16 in your program. What have we got, 10 minutes plus 1?
10 minutes plus 1 for this second moto for this category, brought to you by Smarter Than Smoking. This is one that delivered some incredible action in their first moto. Let's see if a little bit of extra ride time has tempered their enthusiasm or if they're going to hit every mark just as hard as they did in the first session of the day. Dust flying on its way down to Southwest Highway as we check out the number 61, I believe, on screen. Just double checking. Sorry, the 61 of Dylan Walsh, and Patrick Butler on the 68. Deacon Pace leads us out. And your race order looks like this, Dave.
Yes, you got Deacon Pace in front from 61. I think you'll find that's Butler. No, that is Patrick Butler back there in third, and we've got the other rider there. He's the fastest on the track, Dylan Walsh. So they're going along quite beautifully. And, I think I might put the mocker on one there.
Deacon
21,
Pace.
Deacon Pace. Commentators, Kurt, look what I've done.
Very, very tough for him. He's been locked out of that top 2 spot.
Yep.
Very
look
tough.
out. Deacon Pace grabbed a handful. He got a kicker, and he went straight over that boom. And how he didn't finish up on the other side, I don't know. That was not a good result. Luckily, he gathered it all up, but gee whiz, that was a little bit untidy from Deacon. Obviously, pretty cooked up underneath the helmet because he made a mistake and probably grabbed a handful more than he should have.
Someone who's made a fantastic run back up the order is Taj Reed. Not really featuring too highly yet, but he has picked up a bunch of spots from the back of the field when we saw him around last. He was circulating in around 20th. He's now back up towards the 15th spot. One big winner out of this mess that we saw right in front of us was Sonny Pellicano. He got up around Jake Rumans, and of course, when Deacon Pace fell down the order, he picked up a spot there too. So big win there from him as we watch on the number 68 of Patrick Butler on screen now, off in that technical area in the middle of the course, around this tight, slow left-hander. All hard pack, and we've finally pushed all that skatey top surface pretty much off the track, Dave.
Yeah, it seems that way. It looks like there's a little bit more traction on the mid lines. Still a little bit iffy on the inside, and quite nice around the high line. So I'd expect to see them on those lines as their race leader pinches just a little bit of a break. So that's Butler in front, I think you'll find. Then we should Walsham in front of Butler, get it right. Then we go back to Pace. Then we've got Pellicano. Don't know, that looks a little bit incorrect, I'm not sure. Let's go here. Dylan Walsh, Patrick Butler, Jake Room and Sully Pellicano. That's the way the four should be. And I'll tell you what, Deacon Pace is starting to work his way back into contention. And Sonny Pellicano, let me tell you this, son, you are under pressure in a minute.
Let's check it out as that 111 machine is on screen. We ride with Sonny Pellicano as he goes around the left-hander in towards the step-off. He's got that bright yellow helmet. He'll duck just quickly out of view. Fires his way down, as we say, towards Southwest Highway. He is currently almost 2.9 seconds off the back of the rider in third, Jake Rumans on the 44, and we've had someone, Kamagutsa, right in front of our position. Who is this? The dust making it tough. He's beating the handlebar. It's the 228.
Yeah, a little bit of carnage there, and that rider's got on that midline. I've noticed as we watch the riders go around, there's a few more brake stutters. The track is getting rougher, and that means that they're going to have to concentrate a whole lot harder. I think concentration the problem there. He just got a little bit untidy, had a bit too much of a handful, couldn't pull it up in time. So race leader going along in front, doing the job. As you would expect, he's on the JOB, but Deacon Pace, having come unstuck, got back into sixth, and he is charging now towards the front. I think in fourth or fifth, and not far away from the third and second place rider. So it'll be a bit of action in the tail end of this particular moto.
Jake Rumans has been acquitting himself well on the number 44 machine, currently operating in the 3 spot as your race leader. Gets on through for another lap and wheels off an incredibly quick 2-minute flat. And this is what we're talking about with consistency. His best lap time came on lap 1, or rather lap 2, sorry. It was a 1 minute 59.84. He's just clocked out about 0.14 of a second off that PB time. It's now lap 3.
Yeah, so here we go. As we said about Deacon Pace, he's got past Pellicano. Now he's got his sights set on the back end of Troy Ruman on the Blue Crew 125 for Yamaha Australian SDR Racing. And pretty shortly, there'll be some sparks fly for third position. It's a matter of whether Deacon Pace can bridge the gap they're on. I very much doubt that, but third is looking a possibility at this stage of the race. Sonny Pellicano back there in fifth. hanging on quite nicely as we go back to a few more. They are doing very nicely. Luca Romano, Travis Bitter, Taj Venn, Max Devry, and in the top 10 still Alec Watkins.
This mid-pack, pretty much from 6th place through to about 11th, is absolute war. These guys are going toe-to-toe. The gap is absolutely tiny. We're talking the better part of only 10 seconds, covering a good 7 or 8 riders and putting on one heck of a show. On screen now, we watch them as they come up towards the left-hander into the tabletop, and it's side by side. Down they fire. Who was this? Luca Romano getting in the mix there. I think he's up against Travis Pitter on the Yamaha, the 420. We'll check that as they come back into view, but the dust really starting to ratchet up a notch now, Dave. It's getting tough to see out there.
Yeah, I think vision's going to be an issue here, and as I speak, our race leader comes back into full view to peel off yet another lap. So I fancy at least 2 laps to go, because we've got no last lap board out yet. And our race leader at the moment going along pretty nice. He looks to me like he's definitely doing the business up front. In second, no change in the order. We've still got those 2 riders, Walsh and our other rider there in Dylan Walsh in front. Yeah, Patrick Butler. Then we've got Deacon Pace, who did get Jake Rumans. That was what I was looking at earlier. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Pace close that gap significantly in the closing section of the race either.
Oh, we've just gone 8 minutes 45 seconds, so we'll get another 2 laps out of this.
Yeah, this lap and one more, I think, although, is it 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes,
Moto,
yeah. So they're going to get another 2, that's right. So that's going to test them right out. That is enough time, I think, for Deacon Pace to get on board with the rider in front of him without any doubt whatsoever. So Deacon Pace chasing Butler. They're both chasing Walsh. So we'll just see how we get on as this race comes to a successful conclusion.
Watching on as the 1-2-2 of Luca Romano runs in front of our commentary position. He's had some really good form on the 2-banger here. Into the left-hander, the 1-2-2 not only looking good, but actually carrying a heap of speed. Managing to put a gap on Max Devery on the 192 machine. He's also having a great time operating down around that 7 spot. And it's this mid-pack battle. These guys cannot afford to put a single foot wrong, because the guy is only a quarter of a second behind you, ready to pounce.
Yeah, so there's some little mini tussles right throughout the moto. I don't think there's a hell of a lot of tussle up front, say for perhaps Patrick Butler under some pressure from Deacon Pace. That's a possibility. Just at the moment, I think Dylan Walsh is looking okay, but as I speak, they start to come towards us again. We've given a last lap board out to a race leader, so, oh, yep, that's about right. So we've got 1 lap, so they're homeward bound, so looks to me like bike number 61, that's the bike of Dylan Walsh from Wanneroo Junior Motorcycle Club, is in front and going towards the checkered flag in second. And have a look at what I said about Pace, and look at him, he's on the pace. In fact, he's got past Butler.
Not a bad resurrection of his race. Deacon Pace was back as far as, I think it was about 6th for a little bit.
Yeah, he was.
And managed to claw his way back. Doing it on the next damn entry, the number 21 machine, supported by Mandurah City KTM, Intent Surge, MXRP Road and Race, and NR Metal Recycling.
Yeah, so they're homeward bound. The front section of the front part of the race are all homeward bound as they start to wind their way past the last lap board. Race leader at the moment should be bike number 61. That is Dylan Walsh from the Wanneroo Junior Motorcycle Club for Aussie Motor Engineering, Gas Perth, Gas Australia, Firm Constructions, and every Empire Cycles, everybody else you can think of. In second, no change in the order yet. That is Deacon Pace from Wanneroo for Mandurah City KTM. Third, Patrick Butler, Manjimup, River Hill Mechanical, doing a nice job there. Then we go back to 4th, I think, to find it Rumans, and 5th, after a short gap, should be bike number 111, Sully Pelicano from down there in, I do believe he's down to Manjimup, if my memory serves me correct. In any case, he's going along quite nicely. Coastal Motorcycle Club, so don't ask where I got that from. For Dale Britton Motorcycle, now there's a name out of the past. He's a several times winner of state and national motocross events, old Dale, and sells motorbikes. He knows how to ride them, so why wouldn't he sell them?
Absolutely. We catch back up as we get set.
champions.
16 over A final. This will be a hot competition.
Every time I walk back out here, I'm looking at the beautiful swimming lake.
Christchurch Grammar School. They will be the champions for 2020, 18, 2019. Congratulations to our champion, John 23rd College.
We are go. Round 21 final. Nickler with a jogging start again. Corey Vincent, your KC2 final winner.
Off the start away, it looks like 7-3. Got a good one up Sentinel. Second play. He's going to take it, ladies and gentlemen.
Right on him, right up beyond him, about a half.
Between 5th at 6. It's Turner with a big mistake.
But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
The 437 machine leads out our 65cc7s to under 10s. My name's J-Mac as we welcome back to the microphone Dave Rumans. The 65s are tearing it up. Tomarini leads out over Nate Hardbottle. Ollie Burkett in third place. Charlie Butler fourth. And Caleb Tatt looking to get from fifth to P1 in as short a time possible.
Okay, well, it's lucky we got the generator going again, so a bit of power at the moment. Again, we apologise for the intermittent commentary, but due to circumstances beyond our control is probably the nicest way to say that. Little rider here came off. He got his leg stuck in the handlebars, and that was none too exciting for him. However, the balance of the field seemed to be going along quite nicely. Race leader, I think we had Nate Tomarini, and he was the lamplighter in the earlier event. At the moment, he's in front of Nate Hardbottle and Ollie Burkett. Expect to see Burkett and Charlie Butler and Caleb Tate go a little bit harder towards the front as the race unfolds. So 10 minutes plus 1, 7 minutes plus 1. One or the other. I think it's 7 minutes plus 1. In any case, that's what we've got to do.
This race brought to you by Pirelli and Moto, pretty much the leading brands in rubber and oil out here in motocross today.
Yeah, well, the Pirelli and Moto flags are flying resplendent in the wind today, and I notice they've got good sponsorship prominence, so that's an excellent thing. And Pirelli, a damn good product over many, many years, and Moto no different. So good of them to throw some money into sponsorship, as do most of the other companies. Accordingly, got a red flag for
red
some
flag.
reason.
This race has been red flagged.
That means that's the end of the go, I think. They've all got to go back to the pits. I actually red flagged the race years and years ago, and everybody kept going.
Well, it goes to show that I think that, yes, we have seen. They have acknowledged the red flag.
Yeah.
The race will come to a stop,
Yep.
and we are sending everybody into the pits.
Back into the pits, yeah. Yeah,
So-
sometimes these little guys, it's a little bit tricky. Okay, so we've got a red flag rider off here. Not exactly sure what the circumstances were, but they red flagged the event. That means all riders back into the pits, and not sure exactly what transpires thereafter. But at this stage, the rider that came off right in front of us here has been taken from the track and put into the ATV. Hopefully nothing too untowards there. We've got yellow flags. Good on the flag is what they're doing their job down there. That's great.
Absolutely. Now, of course, when a red flag comes out, the whole course gets a waved yellow, basically to let riders know something is going on. You're seeing multiple yellows. You must slow down. You must not jump. You must not pass. Basic things, but it's great to see that our flaggies have adhered to the rules. And good to see riders in the pits jumping off their machines as soon as they exit the exit chute and walking them back to their pit bays. So we are just going to take a very, very brief pause as the 65cc 7s to under 10s are going to... I'm going to find out if they're resetting, restarting, or if that is going to be their race. I know that we are running up against a time limit, and we'll see what happens on the back of this. So I do believe they are going to come back down and repopulate this starting gate. So while they do that, and while we clear the track, I will keep you appraised of any information if and when it comes to hand. But we will take a very short break. We'll be back with more from round 2 of the 2021 Smarter Than Smoking Junior State Motocross Championship here at Byford at the Lightweight Motorcycle Club.
PLC 2019 Head of the River Champions.
16 over A final. This will be a hot competition. Every time I walk back here, I'm looking at the beautiful swimming anyway.
Time Christchurch Grammar School. They will be the champions for 2020 and 2019.
right up behind him, about a half.
Between 5th and 6th, it's Turner with a big mistake.
But Duffy comes out the gate like a bolt of lightning.
Popcorns, floss, all your bouncy castles. They would have been here with a bouncy castle for the kids today if we didn't get clamped down on by the restrictions, of course, with COVID-19. We're doing all that for a very good reason, and we are still bound by those restrictions, so we do ask that you please abide by them. But if you are looking to add a little bit of spice to your next party or event, why don't you go onto Facebook and check out Let's All Party. Or check them out online. They have a website, letsallparty.com.au. Great supporters for round 2 of the 2021 WAMX Junior State Motocross Championship. Also, a big g'day to C&M Images Proprietary Limited. Some great photos on there. I've been told to say g'day to them. Ranging across road racing, both on 2 wheels and 4 as well as motocross. They got out to Coastal Park last weekend, I believe. It's great to see them getting around. And don't forget, they've been pretty lonely up here, but why don't you come on up, grab yourselves a beer from the bar. The canteen is running. The drinks are flowing. You can grab yourself a hot cup of coffee down here at the coffee van, and also something to eat from the canteen. We'll be back to you. We'll let the music play out, and once we hear engine started on the gate, we'll get into it once again.
Okay, looks like we're away and racing again. Restart, and they've got going pretty smartly down to the first corner. Let's see if we can get you some sort of a race leader as they come around up on the high wide and handsome line. The Yamaha just missed the number there, but we've got them going okay. Ollie Burkett perhaps up amongst them. Let's see, 4:37 and 6:10 our race numbers there. So let's see, yeah, Ollie Burkett, I thought that was him and Nate Tomarini. There you go. The two that should have been in front are in front. Tomarini now goes in front on the Yamaha. Burkett back into second. That's the way they circulate everybody up and running. Fingers crossed they get this one done.
Tomarini doing a great job out there, trying to get onto the back end of, or rather, sorry, he is leading out Ollie Burkett on that 4:37 machine. Everybody else will populate our MyLabs live timing screen, but kicking the dust up, we did try and put a little bit of water down in that brief intermission. Good couple of little stoushes happening here for the 65cc 7 to under 10 second moto. Yes, we are still in the second round of racing, Dave. It's 2:30 and we're now at race 17, just past the halfway mark.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for mentioning that. And I'm guessing that we'll need some lights to finish, or maybe come back tomorrow and finish the balance of the meeting. That's definitely not going to happen. We know that. So let's go see how we get on. We're getting through this moto, and at the moment we've got Tomarini stretched his legs, got away. Ollie Burkett back there in second, and those two have spread eagled him, fair dinkum. Into third, not exactly sure. We'll just have a look and see. Yeah, Caleb Tatt. Yeah, well, I would have thought he'd be up amongst them. Brax Chetwin, he's been the improver through the day, and Charlie Butler, Evan Foley, Nate Hardbottle. Then we go to Corey Shackleton and Chase Thatcher. And rounding up the top 10, according to our screen here, is Van Haberly. But the race leader really starting to get away now, and that is... well, actually, it says here Ollie Burkett, but I think you'll find it's Tomarini. In any case, we'll find out as they come back towards us.
Our cameras focusing on the 4Style Media live stream, looking like we're running with the second place holder on the 610 machine, Ollie Burkett, looking pretty cool out there with his skeleton jersey. But your race leader, Nate Tomarini, clocks in with a super quick 2-minute 18.102. We see Ollie Burkett drop in a 2:20.56, and just a healthy dose of right hand there for Nate Tomarini as he flies through the air on that Yamaha. This thing absolutely turned up to 11 here in this race 17 rerun.
Again, I reckon if we look at size, I think Tomarini's not going to be for that bike for too much longer. He looks pretty much in charge of it, certainly got a bit of extra leg room there.
Here we go, a little bit of a battle coming down off the high line here. The 210 machine of Charlie Butler holding out the 216 of Caleb Tatt. Caleb Tatt's fallen back, he's now running in 4th place.
So our race leaders have gone down to the highway and turning back up with our 3rd place rider under a little bit of siege by the looks of that. And then there's some mini battles right back through the race, everybody trying to extract maximum amount of points out of the moto. They do score back to 15, so there's a point to be had there and right forward. So what they've got to do is ride and finish in the best possible position to extract maximum points. Of course, winning's the most amount of points, but 15 gets you something, and that certainly keeps you in a forward motion as far as overall points is concerned.
Watching on as we see the battle rage between the 399 on screen of Brax Chetwin and Caleb Tatt. They are side by side as they head on down that extreme right-hand side of the course down. They'll make the left-hander watching them there. So Caleb Tatt only just holding out Brax Chetwin on the 399. Brax running the white jersey with the blue accents. Caleb, he's been doing such a great job all day long. Might not necessarily have been on the top of the charts, but he has been in that top 5 for a few different motos. Watch it now as they come wheeling around that left-hander past the start gate, and it looks like Brax may have, I've just got to confirm, no, we've switched cameras there. As we watch on, Nate Tomarini on the 437 machine. Let's see how he drops in. He'll be flashing into view around our start-finish line. In fact, here he comes. We'll see what the lap time updates to. Ollie Burkett still giving chase. This guy has not given him an inch. He's still clocking through. Tomarini goes just about as quick as he has. He clocked in with a 2-minute 18.41. His PB is only 0.3 of a second quicker than that.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that Ollie Burkett at 2:18.3, just 0.1 of a second faster than the race leader. So at that stage, I think we could see a few sparks fly if Burkett can keep up that pace. That's the secret to it, consistent times. As we have said right throughout the day, it appears that is the only way that he's going to get on board. Our third place getter quite significantly back the gas there. That's Charlie Butler, 2:31, so that's a 12-second gap. That's a fair whack, but he's still going okay and looks quite tidy on the bike. In behind him, I think you'll find is, let's see, I've got 410 Nate Hardbottle, Charlie Butler somewhere there, and they're going along okay. Then we go to Van Haberley and Evan Foley. Bam Hill started to work into the moto, probably didn't get the start he wanted.
Things have got a little messy right in front of us. Nate Hardbottle in the 410 is being chased down by the 364 machine of Van Haberley, just navigating his way through. You can see the bright yellow as we check out on screen. I think we are actually watching on with Ollie Burkett over the back of the track at the fastest portion of the track, clearing those tabletops, clearing those big jumps with ease. Not a single problem in the world for this 65cc pilot.
Yeah, they do a wonderful job on these little motorbikes. They are actually built like the bigger bikes, plenty of suspension, good horsepower. It's just about power to weight, really. And if you're a little bit heavy, they're not going to go quite as good as if they were a lighter type rider. So that's what you've got to look at. But at the moment, our race leader, Nate Tomarini, doing a really, really good job. 2:18s and going along at 2:18s pretty regular. And he is the testing material. Keep this up, and I would think he would take the moto out. Although, having said that, Ollie Burkett's starting to get on board a little bit better. So from Burkett, we go to Butler to Tack. Then we go to Hardbottle and Haberley thereafter. That's the top six as they circulate. The sun's ducked behind a cloud. Isn't that nice?
It's rather comfortable conditions. Nate Tomarini has extended his lead by 2.14 seconds this last lap. He's absolutely smashing it out. As we check it out, it's a clean green circuit. Now that I've said that, we'll see a flurry of yellows. The last lap board is out, well spotted, as we are sending him through for the very last time. This is the rerun for the Pirelli Moto 65cc two-stroke 7 to under 10 division. In the dying stages, and we're seeing our race leader about a third of the way through the total lap distance. Riders have largely separated themselves out, but let's catch them across the start-finish line. Let's check in.
Yeah, nice little mini tussle back for probably 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere there. No settlement there. I mean, obviously, those couple of three riders are going to have to chase hard all the way to the checkered flag. Race leader looking pretty tight out front, Nate Tomarini. I believe he won the earlier moto pretty nicely. He's done it very nicely in this particular moto. And he'll expect maximum points of 20 out of this race. Ollie Burkett, always the testing material, back there in second. He's on a slightly better lap time, but I think the checkered flag's going to beat him well and truly. He's slightly better, probably 0.1, 0.2 of a second faster than our race leader. And then I think rounding out the top three will be Charlie Butler on 2:10 from Caleb Tatt. So that's the way they'll circulate towards the checkered flag, I do believe.
This is your race leader on screen, the 4:37 of Nate Tomarini. It is tight, less than 2 seconds the distance, but making his way inexorably in towards the start-finish to collect himself a very handy victory in this second moto. Tomarini flashes around the outside of some lap traffic, and the 4:37 takes it in the second moto of the 65cc 7 to under 10 division, brought to you by Pirelli and Moto. Checkered flag.
Okay, the checkered flag after the entire race now, and I think if I roll into third, it'll be 2:10 Charlie Butler. Then we find in fourth position 216 Caleb Tatt, Nate Hardbottle, Van Haberley, Bam Hill got up into seventh after a fairly ordinary start. Evan Foley eighth, Noah Thomas in ninth, and the top 10 was rounded out by John Fitzgerald. That's the way they circulated in event 17 in your program. It was a rerun, and we're hopeful that that rider that sustained an injury in the earlier one is okay. And let's hope he lives to ride another day without too much problem. So we should move on to event 18 in your program. A little bit of the girls, 250. There'll be some sparks flying this. They're down on the starting grid. A start there is imminent. We're still unsure as to how long the program will go. We're only just a bit over halfway through the second round at 3 o'clock or whatever the time may be. So we'll see how that transpires. Perhaps the little guys might not come out again. That's probably the most likely outcome, but not our decision. That's a decision that will be with the clerk of the course and the steward to discuss at some stage. The sun has eased off a bit, so that would mean the track doesn't dry out quite as much as it could. All right, we'll take a short break, I'm guessing. Like a green flag for the girls in the 250s. Heads are down. 15 seconds and then 5. Gates drop, they're away. Out they came. They came out pretty smartly, or one or two stragglers, but let's have a look and see if we can get one of the Rimbus girl in front, Kayla or Leah. I think it's Kayla, but let's have a look as they sort themselves out.
J. Lee Rimbus.
Jade Rimbus, yes, J. Lee Rimbus and Lee Rimbus. Look at that.
That's the one.
We've got a Rimbless Quinella.
Here we go, running in third place is Phoebe Bronwyn on the 730 machine, but she's hard-pressed to keep up with the Rimbus girls. It's easy, you can say Rimbus 1, Rimbus 2, and they don't know who you're talking about, but we can see Leah Rimbus in the sparkly pink jersey up against Jay Lee, currently leading us out on the number 26 machine. Bronwyn doing everything she can to try and tack on to the back of that duo, and then there is a bit more of a gap back to the number 74 of Olivia Webster. We'll see how that shapes up as they make their way down. Still a little bit of a tussle happening in the back order with the 152 of Jessica Frew and Lara O'Leary on the 106 machine.
Yes, well, the Rimbus girls have done themselves proud all day. I think we've spoken about it at length, and they're doing very nicely indeed at this particular moto, rolling along in 1 and 2. And I tell you what, there's no quarter being asked for or given either. Don't think either one of them's going to button off for the other. I'm pretty sure they're going to go hard at it no matter who. I
got to say, that run in towards Whole Shot Corner, that was an elbows up.
Yep.
And stick it right into them sort of battle.
Yeah, here they are, handlebar to handlebar.
Here we go. Let's check it out. Leah Rimbus on the outside of that left-hander. Has she got the drive? She switched over to the inside now. Jay Lee covering off the inside of the next corner because they'll jockey for track position. So Leah now on the inside as they come around this this right-hand sweeper. And wow, Leah, the real winner out of that little stoush.
Yeah, did a nice job. Look at the light pink colours there. Going nicely in front, sneaked around the inside. I think probably just go to the other rider into an error, kind of. Went from the outside to the inside and switched back. So they're going pretty well. Stretch the lead's got away a little bit. Those two have got away from the third rider. And right now, Jay Lee Rimbus in front of Leah. I think that's how they look.
Leah in first, Jay Lee in second. We'll see Phoebe Bronwyn flash across the start-finish in third place, Dave. And normally we say when you're battling away, you tend to fall back.
Yeah.
But these two are just managing to stretch their legs and go, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, they seem to have got a little bit of a gap. And right now, it's pretty much a two-bike race. Oh, not quite. There's a dangerous exercise there. I'll tell you what, they're serious about beating each other. There's no doubt, there's no love lost here at all. They might be related, but at this stage, there's just no love lost whatsoever. So you've got Jaylee, and she is chasing the other Rimbus girl in front, and they've got away again. So been a very interesting race.
We're looking at a fair little stoush happening between the 147 of Ella Foley and the 157 of Jordan Thomas. They're nose to tail, currently jockeying for the 6 and 7 spot on track. Husky versus KTM.
Yeah, so many tussles right through this, and bear in mind these are other females, and they're doing a very good job in circumstances that you wouldn't expect to see girls really tussle hard at. Not easy going out here. This is some of the hardest sports you can get involved in, motocross, and they are acquitting themselves in a very, very admirable fashion, that's for sure. So right now, we've got Leah Rimbus in front of Jaylee Rimbus, Phoebe Bronwyn, Olivia Webster, Mia Scott, Ella Foley, Jordan Thomas, Summer Mills, Lara O'Leary, Jessica Frew, Nikita Farr, and Chloe Sheehan rounds out the top 12 as they circulate here at Byford Lightweight Motorcycle Club, round 2 of your junior motocross events, state titles up for grabs, points all important. There'll be a presentation, I believe, at the conclusion of the meeting. I noticed they put the plaques out, so I'm guessing that goes ahead. So do join everybody afterwards, and avail the accolades to the riders who have finished in the top 3, and make sure that they get the pats on the back they richly deserve for their efforts today.
So the girls' 250s out on track at the moment. This is race 18 in your program. And we have slated it as a 7-minute moto. We are just about to crack into the 5th minute. So you'll see this, the end of this lap, and one more lap to go. And just watching on the 730 machine circulating, this is Phoebe Bronwyn. Yeah, had the rear wheel jumping up, and you can see it's especially prominent here coming off the left-hand berm in front of us. On the high line, there's a lot of bumps that you normally only see on the braking side.
Yeah, brake starters, yeah. And on this hard pack surface, they become a real problem too. You've got to be ever so careful that they don't, you get out of kilter when they fire over the front end. So you just have to make sure you attack it in the right and proper fashion. Oops! Oh, that was nearly a case. Little right here in front of us here. That was Ella Foley or one of me, of Scott it might have been, but gee, that was a bit tricky there for a minute or two. Had the bike on one side and the other. So our race leader going along nicely. As you said, probably another lap to go. And this is the women's 250, or the ladies 250, girls 250. I'm not sure, is that the right way to say? Girls, women, lady, all the same, really.
Well, we are running juniors,
yeah,
so we're calling the girls 250 division.
Yeah, girls, juniors, yeah.
Leah Rimbus has clocked in with the best lap time of a 2-minute 10.873. She's backing it up every single lap, a 2-minute 11.16.
Yeah.
We're talking only 0.3 of a second variation between her PB and her current lap time. So that fatigue management is working, that off-the-bike training is paying dividends, and it's resulting in consistency, which has really been the word of the day when we're describing lap times and PBs.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have another lap after this one too, because no last lap board out, and we're inside the 7 minutes, so we've got this lap and one more
to
see the checkered flag come out. So Leah going along nice. She's got a bit of a break, pinched a handy break really now. I think now is the time when, cool heads prevail. You know where you're at, you know what your position is, and I think at the end of the day, you snatch the points that are up for grabs and probably don't try and bite off more than you can chew here and now.
Exactly the sort of mindset that Jaylee Rimbus is looking to convey on that number 26 machine. She's doing a fantastic job. Last lap time was a 2:15. She has clocked in a 2:11. Not quite up there with the consistency stakes, but we will keep you posted. The number 74 of Olivia Webster smashing out another lap as we click past the 7-minute marker. That means that next time you see your race leader, Leah Rimbus, come around the start-finish line, she will be shown that last lap board held at the ready by our chief finisher.
Okay, so where's our race leader at? See if we can spy her. She won't be that far away from that middle section. There we go. The little pink jersey pops out as she goes down along the highway straight there and comes back off what I would have called the most southwestern part of the track behind the starting gates. Comes back into the middle part of the circuit. A little bit of trickiness just right there. A couple of jumps up the hill, around a right-hander, and then comes towards the timing tower once again. And at that stage, past the last lap board and homeward bound.
The 147 of Ella Foley and the 157 of Jordan Thomas have been going toe-to-toe all race long. And they're still at it as they head on down that big, long drag race towards the tabletop before the right-hander. Foley and Jordan.
I'd imagine when you go down that hill, J-Mac, that it'd be fairly daunting to go down those jumps knowing it's a downhill run. So you're going to go fairly quick. I think you need to be fairly careful how you approach that. In any case, race leader has gone past the last lap board, Leah Rimbus, and is homeward bound, doing it beautifully in front, in complete control of the bike. And at this stage, it looked pretty tidy. No doubt Daly's in the same boat, and they had a good tussle early, but obviously the bubble burst. One of them's got to win.
Yeah, the bubble burst, the lucky band snapped, and we did see that gap get piled on from Leah to Jaylee. It currently sits out at about 12.55 seconds. The gap from Jaylee to third place Phoebe Bromwyn currently sits at just about the same, 13.83. So there's third place in front of us, just getting around a lapper, also showing up on our 4-Style Media live stream. If you are watching on, welcome. This is the second moto for the girls, 85cc, 2-strokes, 250cc, 4-strokes, 12 to under 16. The dust abated a little bit, but it's always going to with slightly less bikes out on track. It'll be interesting to see how
when we
go.
get a few more bikes out there. The sun keeps poking in behind clouds, so that's probably having a bit of an effect on it as well. And the other thing, of course, is the southwest wind has sprung up a little, so it's probably inclined to blow the dust that away rather than down the track. So that's an important thing. Okay, well, our race leader has absolutely stretched her legs to the point where she's got a very, very handy break, something like 12 odd seconds. He's working towards the checkered flag in excellent style. It's been a nice ride by her. She's in the main part of the circuit, the trickiest part of the circuit, right in the middle where there's S's and slower part of the track. Works her way up over that jump. She'll come round a left-hander and come back towards us to complete a moto and a well-earned 20 big one.
Here it comes, Leah Rimbus on approach for her second win, and not to take anything away as she gets the checkered flag. We've had a rider go down on the left-hander, getting close to the drop-off. She's holding her head, and I get the feeling she may be a little bit banged up. The checkered flag has been shown. The medic aids are on the scene. Not the way you want to finish your race with the last lap. Checkered flag in sight, but rest assured, getting the very best of care. So, your finishing order, Leah Rimbus rounding out the top step of your podium on the 929 machine over J. Lee Rimbus in second place, Phoebe Bronwyn in third. Your top three of the girls, 85cc to 250cc, 4 strokes, under 16s. Race 18 in your program, now done and dusted. We're about to jump into the quickest category out there, the 150s and 250s. They're going to be proudly brought to you by KTM Australia. We'll crank some tunes and we'll be back in just a short moment here for more action from round 2 of the WA Motocross State Championship. This is the juniors edition. The seniors are having their event next weekend. We encourage you to jump onto Facebook and check out all the information available there. We'll be back in just a short moment.
To 250, 13 to under 16. There's a premier class. Should watch for, let's have a look and see, Deacon Pace 21, Dylan Walsh 61.47, Jordan Mania, and Sonny Pelicano on 111. They ought to be the testing material, I would think. Then we go up on the starters grid. They're about ready to rock and roll once again. Event 19 as we slowly walk towards the end of the day's racing. And these guys will go very quick indeed. So if you want to see some sparks fly, now's a good time. Get yourself into a good vantage point.
I do have an updated run list for round 3. I'll give that to you in just a moment. We are still running all categories. I do hear that there are a few people asking if we're running the Divi 1s as part of round 3. Yes, you are going to be running the 50cc demos. You're going to get a 5-minute session. So,
green flag.
The green flag, that means our riders are in the hands of the starter. They'll get their 15-second board. And it'll click over to 5. And before you know it, the gate will drop. Here we go, firing off the gate. Looks like a pretty clean run from just about everyone, but they've got to funnel it on down. The number 61 looks to lead us out. Walshy, with a repeat offence, is out in front, Dave.
Yeah, great start. What we expected, Dylan Walsh right out there. I think you'll find 47 here, got it marked there. They went hard and fast to the first corner. And Jordan Manier was the other one I expected to be up the front. And here we go again. We have got Jordan Manier. We've got young Deacon Pace back there, but the race leader, bike number 61, that is Dylan Walsh.
Manier got a really good run off the high line, cut that corner in nice and sharp, used gravity to his advantage to get that drive, and it did cut down the gap between the fast retreating Dylan Walsh. But we'll see how it all shapes up, because I think they have developed a little bit more of a gap as they come back around through the left-hander. Walshy has garnered himself almost a second over Manier. This is your 150cc two-stroke, 250cc four-strokes. Under 16s. They're still junior riders, but these are the biggest bikes that they have the opportunity to ride.
Yeah, this is the older group, if you like, the premier class in terms of what it is. And as we speak, bike number 61 there, that's the bike of Dylan Walsh for the Wanneroo Junior Motorcycle Club. Has started to break away a little bit. Manier chasing very hard, as you would expect. That's Jordan, of course, and he from the same club. So we've got a pair of Wanneroo riders in front. After a short, yep, you'll find is another one, Deacon Pace. So Wanneroo Junior Motorcycle Club, 1, 2, 3. And these three riders have been the testing material in this particular class for most of the day. And they've picked up where they left off last Moto, and here they are doing the business again.
Manier only opting to come out in the big four-stroke division, keeping himself fairly fresh all day long. But you can see Walshy, even though he's running in dual nominations, he is able to really put the hurt on in this moto. This is a 10-minute moto, Dave. They had a 15-minute to start them off. They're going to finish, as I double-check, they are going to finish with a 5-lapper to finish them off. But this is still going to put a whole heap of torture on the body and on the fatigue side of things.
So are we saying this is 5 laps?
This is a 10-minute
10-minute
moto.
10-minute
moto.
10-minute moto, so that's going to get them 150. They're going to do 6 laps plus one, maybe 7, and then finish off on a 5 lap.